Presenting the award to Representative Palm is Liz Allen, a student at Valley Regional High School.
It's impossible for me to overstate how much this award means to me. Thank you, Marianne, and everyone at the wonderful Stone Soup Institute. Lieutenant Governor Bysewicz, thank you for hosting us and for helping Connecticut be a climate leader. Congratulations to my fellow awardees around the world, around the globe. We are really in this together. I remember watching Walter Cronkite when I was 14, and he gave his seminal address in 1970, and it no doubt resulted in my becoming both an environmentalist and a journalist. Uncle Walter knew that protecting our environment was everyone's responsibility, and he said that the indifferent have missed the point, that to clean up the air and earth and water in the few years that science has given us, folks, this was 1970, means making personal sacrifice, the likes of which Americans have never known in peacetime. That news coverage inspired me at age 14 to become part of what many now recognize as the beginnings of the environmental justice movement, which was the Great Boycott. And you heard a bit from Cesar Chavez, one of my personal heroes, whom I had the incredible pleasure of bringing to Hartford when I was a teenager in high school, like so many of the people on this Zoom and in the room with me. We were boycotting grapes, and we were dancing in an old church in the north end of Hartford on a sweltering August night. And he was in his early 40s, and of course I thought he was ancient because I was 17. And I was so afraid he'd pass out from the heat. And I said to him, "Aren't you worried about the heat?" And he looked at me and he said, "No, man." I think he called everybody man. "It's very, very cool in this room. Look around at these faces. It's very cool." So I'm looking around at the room that I'm standing in, and I hope all my fellow honorees are looking around the rooms that they're in, knowing that this is, in fact, a very cool movement. It wouldn't, of course, happened without a lot of people who don't remember Walter Cronkite necessarily, and we don't have the kind of journalist today that he was. And so therefore the indifferent, as he called them, are being duped and in fact rewarded for trusting fake news sources that continue to convince them that climate chaos is a hoax. That's why we need science-based climate education so that our young people will know better and do better than we did. The bill for which I'm being honored, it went through many iterations, but finally HB 5285, an act concerning the public school curriculum, changed one word. It changed may to shall in line 21, so that henceforth we shall teach climate science here in Connecticut as part of the next generation science standards. There's nothing radical about this. It's just common sense. But fortunately, we had many allies in doing this. And even here in progressive Connecticut, it took 4 years. So I do want to thank some of my colleagues. I'll be as inclusive and quick as I can, but it was really a group effort, and I cannot stand here and take the credit without sharing it with people like Representative Jerry Reyes, who was at my side from the start. Rep. Bobby Sanchez, thank you for raising this bill 4 times when you were chairing the Education Committee. To my House Democratic leadership, thank you, Matt Ritter, for allowing 8 hours of floor debate that very critical first year. We had behind-the-scenes staff, both partisan and nonpartisan. I'm so grateful to Chris Calabrese, Chris Cordima, and some folks who are in the room with me. I am so pleased to see you. Leticia Colon de Mejias, thank you. Your wonderful leadership. Patty Sisson, thank you. Mark Mitchell, Hugh Birdsall, Guy West, and Lori Brown. Thank you all for bringing kids to the Capitol, for testifying over and over again. Alex Rodriguez, you have been by my side, on my phone, in my ear, since the beginning of this. And I want to thank young activists throughout the globe, and some of them are with me. Bobby Callaghy, Ryan Thompson, Liz Allen, who presented the award. They became involved in climate activism because of the humanitarian implications. Thank you, Mitch Kvader. Where are you? Hey, Mitch. Thank you, everybody at the wonderful Sunrise Institute, for your guts, for your incredible organizational skills. Senna Wazer, you were 15 when you marched up to me and said, "How can I help you?" in this very building in the state capitol. And I know you're watching on Zoom from Washington, D.C. with Al Gore and his people. I am astonished at the young woman you have become, Senna. Thank you. And finally, to all the young people just starting out in this movement, please, please do not give up on us. Please run for office. You guys are leading the way now, and you're going to have to hold your lantern up just a little bit higher, because too many of us are still in the dark, struggling to see what you have known all your young lives. Thank you.